Has anybody stayed in a hotel and you thought, man, what would it be like to own something like this? What would it be like so that every night somebody is staying here in one of these rooms, I'm getting paid for it? What's up, Mark? Good to see you. So that's what we're talking about today. So let me introduce my guest, y'all. Davonne Reaves is the founder and chief hospitality strategist behind the Vonne Group. She is an award-winning hotel consultant, a hotel asset manager with over 14 years of experience in the lodging industry, and a published author. Davonne's diverse hospitality experience includes Blair Management Consultant Services, event management, Hyatt Regency Atlanta, hotel operations, Horwath HTL, hotel development consulting and feasibility studies, and CHM Warnick Asset Management. During her time as Horwath HTL and CHM Warnick, she managed portfolios totaling over $1 billion in hotel assets. Her signature system, the Pathway to Hotel Ownership Plan, combines strategic partnerships with hotel experts to streamline a successful hotel acquisition process. Through her signature system, she's educated over 3,000 people and has successfully helped turn individuals into homeowners. Ms. Reeves serves as an advisory board member for the Cecil B. Day School of Hospitality, is an associate member of the International Society of Hospitality Consultants, a member of Urban Land Institute, and a co-founder of Next Gen in Lodging. Y'all, please do me a favor and welcome to TSP Lunch and Learn, Ms. Davonne Reaves. What's going on, Davonne? How are you?
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, look, my man Mark said, "Oh, she got credentials."
I had to show my receipts real quick.
There you go, right? So I'm gonna give you a second. Just before we dive into it, because we're talking about how they can buy their first hotel. And y'all, I want you to know who you're in front of, right? You're not just talking about this stuff. You've actually purchased a hotel yourself. So if you get people like real briefly your background and then talk about the acquisition that you recently made that, was on Black Enterprise and a bunch of other places as well.
Well, thank you, Lamar. I love being part of TSP. I actually am a part of TSP. I'm in the group. I was a part of Propel, but we're going to touch on that later on. But yes, I've been in the industry for over 14 years. My background is in hotel consulting, asset management, operations. I got my start off working as a front desk agent. So literally, I'm basically taking my 14-year journey, and I bought a hotel during the pandemic. So y'all may have heard the story, $8.3 million with my college friend Jessica Myers. We acquired the Home 2 Suites by Hilton in El Reno, Oklahoma.
I love it. Did y'all catch that, right? This sister bought, what is it, H2 Suites again, right?
Yep, Home 2 Suites by Hilton.
Home 2 Suites by Hilton.
How many people stayed in there?
Hey, yeah, if you stayed in one of those before, right, drop me a note and down in the chat and let us know. But I want to ask you something real quick. It's something that you said. Where's that hotel at?
In El Reno, Oklahoma.
And where do you live at?
I live in Atlanta.
So y'all, right, hold up. She just slid over. She glazed over that part. Because I know a lot of y'all are thinking, okay, to be an owner, I have to actually be in the same place. But Davonne, that's not actually correct, right? How can somebody like you, how can you live in Atlanta and own in Oklahoma? Does that mean you got to have a staff of 100 people and you got people all over the world working for you? Or, for somebody new getting on, like what does that look like?
So it looks like bringing in a management company, and they operate the day-to-day operations. So I don't have to worry about when somebody calls off. I don't have to worry about, if there's a leaky toilet. I don't get a 3 a.m. phone call. That's what I have a management company. So for the folks who in the group who listening in right now, and let's say they have multifamily or they have a short-term rental Airbnb, you probably have somebody that does the day-to-day operations, so that way you don't have to worry about it. The same thing applies to hotels.
I love it. Yolanda said, I caught that, live elsewhere and own everywhere.
There you go. Exactly.
I knew you was going to like that one. That's why I said that.
That's what bosses do. She a boss already. I don't even know her, but I can tell she a boss already.
I love it. So let me ask you this. Because I know a lot of times you talk about hotel ownership to people, I would imagine a lot of people think, oh my God, that's amazing. But that's not something I can do, right? I mean, is that something you run into? Like, what do you say to people like that?
You can do it. I literally started working off as a front desk agent. I didn't come from my daddy. I didn't inherit this hotel. I didn't. So I came from very humble beginnings. And so if I can do it, people can do it too. But the reason why people don't think they can do it because of the knowledge. like you said before, you had the question, who stayed in the hotel? We stayed in the hotel before, but who thought as Black folks that we can actually own it? A long time ago, when our grandmamas and our great granddaddies and stuff, they were staying in hotels. They were Black owned hotels because it was at one point in time we couldn't stay at white establishments. And so it got lost. And inflation, it got lost throughout the time. And because we decided to stay instead of supporting our own, we decided to stay at the hotels that we couldn't do. We couldn't stay at before. So, and right now, less than 2% of the hotels, there's about 55,000 hotels in the United States, but less than 2% of those hotels are owned by African Americans. That's a problem for me.
Yeah, I love that. And as you were saying that, literally you took the words out of my mouth, because as you were saying that, I was thinking that we come from a legacy of hotel ownership. Like Black folks own hotels and places to stay all across this country at one point, right? Because we were those were the only places we could stay in. And if we, what I was looking at recently, what's the name of the movie? One Night in Miami, I believe.
Oh yeah,
about the night with Sam Cooke and Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and they like all got together in one spot. Jim Brown, right? And that was in a Black-owned hotel in Miami, right? Like, yeah. So much of our history ties into us actually being owners in these different sectors. And if we think about it, right, we got people here from all over the country and all over the world. Like in your city, y'all, is probably somewhere that was historic where they talked about during the civil rights movements. When Dr. King came to town, this is where he would stay. This is where Malcolm X stayed. This is where people planned and people strategized, right, for how we could get over Jim Crow and move past some things. So I love how you talk about that being a part of our legacy. Good stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, absolutely.
So let me ask you, because it's interesting, right? So you are a member of our TSP community, right? So you've been here. And on our last conversation, you were saying Lamar actually used the stuff that you talk about in TSP. Can you talk about that just a second? Because I think it's interesting because people always be like, that's good, but you got to have an e-commerce. And that's good, but you know, you got to have a brick and mortar. But this sister is out here in the hotel industry. And what did you use from TSP? I'm just curious.
So first, I'm gonna give a shout out to my cousin Alyssa Swans, because she is the one who introduced me to TSP. She was like, "Girl, I'm coming down to Atlanta." I'm like, "For what? For TSP?" I'm like, "What is it?" She said, "You just don't know, girl. My life is changing." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "So let me join this group." So I joined the free group. I was like, "Okay, let me join the group. Let me see." I started seeing things, and then you had your 5-day business challenge. So I joined. And I was pumped. I'm like, yo, he's like giving a lot of good tips. And you said something. And you was like, no, this is nothing. You got to join, Propel. You got to join, you got to pay. You have to invest in yourself in order for your organization to grow. And I said, okay. So at this time, I got involved with TSP because I wanted to sell my courses, my hotel ownership courses. And I think from your business challenge, I made like a whole bunch of sales during your 4-day challenge.
Yep.
The 4-day weekend, like to use the exact strategy. Because I remember you said use my exact strategy and it worked. And I listened. I said, I'm gonna listen to him. So I did it. It worked. And so I ended up paying for Propel because of your strategy. I was like, yo, let me join. And so at this time, I was trying to raise capital for a hotel. And I was just thinking, I was like, and then I'll just start, I'm doing your courses and stuff for Propel and everything. And the light bulb hit. I said, I could use this same strategy to raise capital. So the folks in the group, as you just mentioned, I thought it was only for e-commerce. I didn't think that I can use it. Wait, Lamar, I'm giving an $8.3 million sauce.
Hey,
people paying. Wait a minute, you done slipped up. See, look at you. I see you. You always be getting people. You done slipped up and find out the secret sauce. But if you really want to know the secret sauce, y'all need look. I'm shouting Lamar out because if I probably wouldn't have joined TSP, the $8.3 million in El Reno deal probably wouldn't have made it to Black Enterprise. So for folks who thinking, oh, I can just get all the tea and get all everything from joining the free group, nah, you're not gonna get anywhere. You need to buy the book, you need to join Propel, or you need to join the mastermind. And you really need to, and you have to do the homework. Like you have to listen, you have to be involved, you have to dive into it. and that's how you'll be able to be successful and actually to make profit and grow from a 6 to 7. My portfolio right now is an eight figure portfolio, and I'm working for it to be a 9 figure.
I love it. I love it. Hey, let me know. Let me know if y'all are picking up all these nuggets. She's dropping a lot of nuggets. A lot of nuggets been dropped already. Let me know down in the chat if y'all are picking these up and getting to it. Hey, get your questions ready. We're about to come to your questions in just a moment. So before we do, right, I saw one of the questions already down in the chat, and they were saying, they were asking about how much money you had to raise and all that kind of stuff. But just in general, let me ask you, if I want to buy a hotel, I never bought a hotel before, how much would I need, right, to get together, right, at the least, right, at the low end, in order to be able to invest into a hotel?
Well, for one, we need to get you a hotel, but that's another conversation. We're gonna get you.
She been on me, y'all. She been on me. She been on me about this.
We're gonna start there. And then the second thing is, I would say if you can just at least get access to $1 million, you should be able to start to get a hotel.
I love it. I love it. And I know some people saying like, wow. Let me know in the chat, y'all. Is that less than you thought? Is that more than you thought? Let me know in the chat. But also in a second, I'm sure if you don't have access to the full $1 million, there might be some other things that you can do. And I'm sure Davonne will tell us about that in a second. I don't know. You want to talk about that now? Or you want to talk about it in a second? What they can do?
This is your show. You tell me how much tea you want me to give.
I mean, I don't know. Y'all might not want it. If y'all want more tea, if you want more details and information, drop me something in the chat, man. Y'all might just say, hey, Lamar, that's enough. I'm encouraged. I'm ready to go do the details. If y'all want more, drop some comments down below. Drop some comments down below. And like a lot of people say, wow, that's less than they thought they would have to actually come together to do it, right? Less than I thought for sure, right? Like that's why I think a lot of times, Davonne, right? Like just knowledge and just knowing, right? It's like so much stuff that and I've realized in life that I didn't go after just because I didn't even know it was attainable. And in my mind, I thought stuff was so far out of reach, right? Until I found out, and I said, man, if I'd have known that, I could have been gone that way years ago. So I love that. I love that. So tell me, what if somebody says, all right, $1 million less than I thought, but I don't have $1 million? In those kind of cases, like what do people do in order to be able to invest into a hotel?
Well, I believe in group economics or collaborative economics, right? So you may not have 100,000, you may not have 15,000, or maybe you do have it and you don't want to use all of it. So, and this is what I teach. I teach people how to come together and how to raise capital for your friends and families, or actually put your pitch together to actually raise capital to outside investors, because it is doable. And people do it all the time. All these hotels that you see is more than one owner. It's not just one owner. It's more than one owner. So they all came together and put their funds together, possibly even using other people's funds, and they came together to acquire a hotel.
I love it. I love it. Let me know if y'all are getting these nuggets. All right. I want to go to questions, and then I got something. Y'all, hang on. I got something real special that we want to talk about before you go. So I want to make sure we're going to get to that. But first, I want to get a couple questions in. Janine said a hotel is on my list. I love it. Janine, stick around. I'm going to tell you how you can, like the first step you need to do. I'm going to talk about the first step. We want to make sure y'all have actionable items on what you can do to actually make it happen here in TSP. I had a good question, right? Somebody said, let me find it. Somebody said, how did you get from the front desk to consulting? Can you talk about a little bit about your journey they want to hear about?
I'll make it real quick. I took a non-paid internship at a hotel consulting firm. That was it. I had to, and that was post-graduation. So I had to bet on myself. And so I was working at that non-paid internship from 9 a.m. to 12, and working at a hotel from 1 until when I had to go. That was the only way that I knew of transitioning from operations into corporate.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. All right, let me see. We got another question right here. This is from Mark. What's up, Mark? Shout out to Mark. Mark said, all about maintenance and HR involved in owning and running a hotel. What does it take to be a 3-star versus a 5-star hotel?
That depends on amenities. And actually, so the more amenities you have, the more expensive it is, and the more services that you provide to a guest. For example, I'm looking across at the Marriott Marquis right now. So that's considered a 4-star full service hotel. So it has a spa, it has a full service restaurant, it has an executive lounge, as opposed to, I'm looking out the window and I see a Hampton Inn. right? So that has less amenities. It doesn't have a spa. It still has, the basic amenities, the bed and the bathroom and everything, but it doesn't have all the amenities of full service. And so what I recommend for those who are thinking about either investing in a hotel or owning in a hotel, I recommend that you actually start off with the 2-star or 3-star hotel, something with less amenities, so that way you can learn the basics, and it's not as expensive to get in. Remember when I said $1 million? That's for a smaller hotel.
All right, I love it. I love it. Hey, Paul Lawrence Van, what's up, Paul? Paul said, Davonne, what was the inspiration for wanting to own a hotel? What let you know that this was your path, and how long did it take from inception to fruition?
Probably about a good 10 years ago, I realized I wanted to own a hotel. And the reason why I realized I wanted to own a hotel, because I noticed the people who were making decisions and people who were like, they were being listened to, and they were able to create generational wealth with their family. They were owning the table. So I'm just sitting at the table listening in, but they weren't paying attention to me, right? Because they only pay attention to the owners. And so that was my introduction to ownership. And I wanted to stay in hospitality. And I saw other communities who were generating and creating, wealth for their families, like a massive wealth for their family. And I was like, wait a minute, if they can do it, because I'm helping them do it, so why can't I just help it? I can't do it for myself.
All right.
So I just had to figure it out.
Had to figure it out. I love it. I love it. Hey, before we go to the next question, because I did want to mention something. A few people asked, hey, hey, they mentioned you using Propel. Like, hey, is the courses in Propel? They trying to get the nuggets of information, right? Courses are not in Propel, but you do actually have courses, right? And I heard you got a hookup for your TSP fam.
Man, I'm telling you, I love my TSP fam. Y'all so hype. It's just Lamar, what you do to us? It's the energy. It's the. I mean, you just be getting us. Who gets? You made me so excited about marketing. Who gets so excited about marketing and sales and profit? I mean, your whole group be lit. Like I'm a part of the badge game and everything.
Right. Shout out to it's badge gang in the house. It's Propel gang in the building. Right. Let me know. All right. But
that the courses, like you said, the courses as far as to hotel ownership are not in Propel, but the strategies that I learned from getting involved in Propel, that's what I use to actually to raise capital and to acquire and to market my business and to actually acquire a hotel.
And now you do have your actual own courses, right? Because you have courses and you show people, like somebody wanted to learn and they want to say, hey, I want to learn about hotel ownership. You do have a new course or a new program you're rolling out, correct?
Yep, it's called the Hotel Ownership Roadmap.com, and I do have a special gift for my TSP folks, 20% off. And you know how we do. Y'all got until tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. EST, 20% off just for you all. Just put TSP discount code. So let me tell y'all what y'all gonna learn in this course. You're gonna learn how to all the steps as far as the acquisition process, how to buy. And if you're like, wait a minute, I don't have $1 million, don't worry about it, because I'm going to tell you how you're going to be able to raise capital to do it. I'm going to bring in a lawyer who's going to come in and talk to you about the legalities. I'm going to have an investment analysis person who's going to help you understand how to underwrite hotels, so that way you can pick the best hotel. I'm going to talk about creating your ownership thesis. And we're also going to have a hotel broker, one of the few African-American hotel brokers. He's actually transacted over 140 hotels. So he's going to give you the secret sauce too, that people aren't going to tell you. So all of this in a 4 weeks. So we're going to meet once a week, and it's going to be recorded. So if you're like, I can't meet it, don't worry about it. It's going to be recorded. I'm going to give you workbooks. I'm going to give you information. I mean, literally just it's like I had this, I'm bringing it back again because I had one in January, and these group of women, it wasn't planned, but they actually came together, and now they're about to buy a hotel just from taking my cohort in January.
I love it. Hopefully y'all are getting all of this. I'm also dropping a link in the chat, right? If you guys didn't know about Davonne, right? Y'all want some receipts? I'm dropping a link in the chat to the Black Enterprise article, right? Don't read it right now. Just open it up and read it later, right? To enjoy it. But I want y'all to learn about this sister and what she is doing to make hotel ownership accessible for more African Americans. And I love the fact, like you said, this actually is live. So it's going to be, 4 weeks of live instruction. Like I said, if you can't get a hold of it, don't worry, you'll have to replay. I'm sure at some point the people are getting to it later on. It will not be live. It'll just probably be a recording or just the course itself. So if you're thinking about it, I probably would jump on it now. While you can't.
It's better for it to be live.
Yeah, for it to be live. That way you can get your questions. As if you don't understand something, you can kind of weed through it and you get to work directly with it. Because what I can tell you from knowing this sister and talking to her is that I don't think you're gonna have this level of access for too long, right? It's like couple more deals get under her belt. I don't think she's gonna be the one teaching the course. One of her people's people is gonna be teaching the course. So make sure if you're interested in it, make sure you jump onto it and take advantage of it. Hey, I'm gonna drop the link down below again. But I wanted to ask you again. So for the 20% off, do they just use the link, or do they need to put anything special in the comments?
They put TSP in a discount code, and it'll give them 20% off.
All right, awesome, y'all. So I'm gonna drop that down again, and I'm gonna tell you.
And it starts. The course starts April 8th.
All right, cool. So I dropped that down to the chat again. 20% off for TSP fam. Put TSP in a discount code area, right? And that's gonna give you the actual 20% off, right? You said it starts April the 8th.
April 8th. Yep, Thursday, April 8th.
Okay, Thursday, April 8th. All right, you got a few more minutes you can hang around with us. We can take a few more questions.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let me jump into it. I saw a few good ones right here. Mark came back. He had another question. He said, what are the best locations to get in on a hotel game entry level? Are there certain parts of the country that's better than others, or do you just start locally? What do you think?
So for first-time hotel owners without any experience, I would try to find a hotel that's like 2 hours away from you, something that's driving distance, maybe 4 hours at the most. The reason why I was able to get a hotel in Oklahoma, because I have experience. I have asset management experience. So I know what to look for. I know what to see. I don't have to be over there every day because I can read reports. I can talk to the hotel, do what I need to do to understand and stay on top of them, so it's a little different level. But your first time, you don't know anything about the hotel business, I would recommend that you start off with a smaller hotel, like a Super 8, a micro hotel, a Motel 6, something like that. That's probably like 2 hours away, 4 hours away. And some people, I always hear, I'm not staying at a Super 8. I didn't ask you to stay there. I asked you to buy one.
Hey,
you're not when you start getting money every month because somebody else staying at the Super 8, you're gonna start complaining. So those are some of the things and strategies that I talk about.
Hey, I need somebody to put that in the chat for me. I didn't ask you to stay there, I asked you to buy one. I need somebody to drop that. Somebody drop that in the chat. I didn't ask you to stay there. I just asked you to buy one. I love it. Because right before you said that, I was thinking, me and Davonne, we talked recently, and she tried to call me out, y'all. She said, Lamar, I'm sensing that you're a hotel snob, right? She said, I'm sensing that you're, and I said, that would be correct, right? That would be correct. But I literally was thinking the same thing, right? It don't have to be your preferred place to stay for you to be the preferred place for you to own. And looking at what the opportunities are. So,
and I tell you why. So the Indian community, they own over 50% of the motels in the United States. And the reason why they own so many, because of the formula I just said. They literally started buying Super 8s, Best Westerns, Microtels, Days Inn. That was their first start. The community got together, family, cousins, mama, grandmama, daddy, everybody in there pulling in their money together to buy a hotel, right? They faced discrimination just like we faced it. It's just that they worked a lot together, right? And they started building portfolios. Because see, those properties are cash flowing cash flowing properties. So you got money coming in every month because people are constantly staying at those hotels because they're off the side of the road, truck drivers, whoever, they're staying at these hotels. So they constantly building this cash flow. So next thing you know, they're building their portfolio. So now maybe just not having one hotel, now they have 3, 4, 5, and now they started off with a Super 8. Now they have a Hampton Inn. Now they have a Hyatt. Now they have a full service Marriott because they started off with the Super 8. Some of them even have Ritz-Carltons, 4 Seasons, because they started off with the Super 8.
I love it. All right, y'all, Nuggets. real quick, I wanted to share this. This is a great nugget. Somebody said, I was thinking on a level of a multi-unit property and trying to think of ways to acquire a property, but I never thought on the level of acquiring a hotel. This is great info. So again, right, kudos to you again, Davonne, for having this conversation with our community and just broadening people's mindsets about what is even possible.
It's more money in it. It's more money in it. Because when I look at multifamily, because I'm trying to get in, I love expanding my portfolio, right? So I looked into multifamily as far as an investment opportunity. It's definitely safer. But when I see the revenue and I see how much money flows down to the bottom line, I'm like, this is it. Because see, I'm coming from hotels. So the profit margin is the same, but it's more, I'm gonna say the profit margin is the same, but more money is coming down to the profit line, to the bottom line. I'll give you an example. I've seen a hotel, this is just an example, $2 million, and it's bringing down net after expenses and everything in debt service. You're looking at about, this is $2 million for the year. You're looking at about 400,000 to 500,000, maybe even more. And then I've seen a multifamily with the same, revenue, but the bottom line is like 100,000. And they told me this was good. I'm like, wait, what? Y'all need to buy your hotel for all this work, because the management fee is 3%, as opposed to multifamily, the management fee is 10%. See, one thing about hotels, it's a nightly lease, so you can change. The rates fluctuate as opposed to a multifamily. It's the same monthly amount, for a year, however long their lease is. So it's not an opportunity to kind of increase the rate.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff. Hey, the comments in the chat is blowing up. I'm gonna let you know, right? It's blowing up. Well, let me ask you. I gotta piggyback because a couple people, while you were talking, you kind of answered it. But a lot of people said, well, what can I expect, right? If I own one of these kind of hotels, what can I expect in revenue? Or what can I expect like on an annual basis? So like, I don't know if you give like a broad, because I know it depends on what kind of hotel, where it's at, all the type of stuff like that. But in broad senses, like what should people, expect, if you can give them any frame of reference?
So that's why I say stick with the super rates and the best Westerns, because you probably can get something, bringing in $1 million in revenue or 800,000 in revenue. And then by the time, because see, with those hotels, it's not a lot of expenses, because you just have rooms. You don't have food and beverage. You don't have meeting space. You don't have all these different expenses. The overhead is lower. So the profit margin is a lot higher. So you probably looking at $1 million in revenue and probably bringing in, 500,000 or more, 400,000 or more. If it's a good hotel, let me go back. The three things that makes a hotel successful is the location, brand, and the operator. So if you have a great location, if you have a great brand, and you have a great operator, those are the three recipes to make a successful hotel. So you can bring in all the revenue in the world, but if you don't have a great operator in order to control those expenses and make sure that you're able to flow down to the bottom line, it won't make any sense. So that's what I focus on. I focus on those three elements, because anybody can be a hotel owner. Anybody can be a hotel, like seriously. But not everyone can be a successful and profitable hotel. And that's the difference. And that's what I focus on.
I love it. Hey, y'all, I just dropped the link down again. 2 people blowing me up like, what's the link? I want the course. How can I get in the course? Where the link at? Y'all just dropped the link down into the chat. Again, it is www.hotelownershiproadmap.com. But make sure you put TSP in the promo code box, else you won't get 20% off. So 20% off when you put TSP in the promo code box at www.hotelownershiproadmap.com.
And one thing I didn't mention, so my goal is to create 221 hotel owners and investors this year. And it's doable. Like I said, I'm going to South Carolina this week with the group of women from my last cohort. They're literally looking at a development site to develop a hotel. None of them, no hotel experience. They heard me on Clubhouse and they said, wait, I could buy a hotel. They joined the course. I didn't know this was going to happen. They came together and say, hey, you guys, let's just buy a hotel. And that was in January. We're in March, about to be April. And we're looking at a development site with this. We're meeting with the city. They reached out to us. Well, they reached out to me. They reached out to me and they want us to develop a hotel. So I'm bringing these group of women and giving them an opportunity. So we got a management company that's going to come down and meet with us. I got 2 hotel brands that's fighting over the location. So all I'm doing is just coaching because I want to get the 221 hotel owners and investors this year.
So I want to the women that you talked about, right? Because you're talking about them before. Something else I want to point out. You said this word because I know some people saying, well, like, look, I ain't got a million, but I got something I can put on it, right? Now this interests me. But you told me before these women did not know each other, so they weren't like, hey, it's girlfriends. They're not line sisters. They're not cousins or family.
They literally just met on the call, and like maybe about 2 to 3 weeks during the call, they were like, y'all, why don't we just buy a hotel? I didn't say it, they did. And I was just like, oh. And they was like, Davonne, can you help us? I'm like, of course.
I love it.
And literally.
Good stuff. So I just want to point that out to people again.
But they're pulling their funds together. So they're pulling their funds together because some of them actually they have access to a lot of funds. So I'm helping them work through that. I'm also, teaching them what they need to do to raise capital. So like I said, I've connected them with different lenders and different capital markets so that way they can get the financing and stuff for their hotel.
Okay. All right. So that was good. All right, y'all. So again, right, make sure I just want to point that out because I know somebody may be thinking this sounds good, but I don't have a whole million. Again, I don't want you to disqualify yourself. You never know. Like,
no, don't
disqualify themselves. Say,
nobody ever has the whole million.
Listen,
like nobody. Like even these big corporations.
Let's talk about
they always use I'm telling you, I've seen so many hotel deals and literally the massive owner comes in with like less than 1% and everybody else people always put their money together. That's how it works. And not even just with hotels, that's just with other things. People always put their money together.
Hold up. I'm glad you dropped that because again, a lot of times I think people think, oh, that would be great, but I got to have $1 million, right? Or that would be great, but I got to have this, I got to have that. And again, they disqualifying themselves. But I think the main thing it sounds like you're saying is what you need to have is education.
Yep.
What you need to have is access. What you need to have is connections or, somebody with the connections or something like that. And like you said, like this ain't just a hotel game. This is business. This is hotels. This is real estate. This could be, stocks. Like it could be no matter what it is. Right there, opportunities there as long as you know like what the opportunities are, made aware and how you kind of move in those spaces. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. All right. 5 more minutes. Can you give me 5 more minutes? This is so good.
I got you. Because it's TSP and you Lamar.
I appreciate it. Look, y'all, I don't know if I'm going to get Davonne back, but I heard she might be coming back. I'm going to talk about this in a second too. But 5 minutes, right? This is good. Here's a good question for you. Somebody said, will you ever make a move to get your own brand of hotels?
No. No, that's not my thing. But I am advising two people. They're looking to start their own brand. So I'm advising them, but it's not a passion of mine to start my own brand. I encourage if anybody wants to do it. But it's not for me.
Awesome. All right, here's another question. I'm curious about this. Somebody said, are you applying new tech and innovation in the infrastructure of how hotels are operated and maintained? Or are you just like, hey, it's already a system there that works. Let me just follow the system and roll with it and collect these checks. I'm curious.
No, one thing about the hospitality industry is very slow when it comes to keeping up with the trends. So I'm open to new technology. I'm actually working with a brand. I'm consulting on a brand now. And it's like, it doesn't even have a front desk. Like everything is like, look, let me tell you how cool this hotel is. You know how like when you go on a plane and you like need to find your you want to pick your seat? Well, this particular hotel is you can pick your room, like the layout the room, and you can pick it out from your phone. So I'm open to new innovative technology as far as now, but this is a new particular brand. But as far as like the Hiltons and the Marriotts and the Hyatts, there's always room for growth in technology and far as for innovative trends. So that's something that I do want to open up, and I am having conversations with them on ways that we as a community or as a hospitality industry we can become more innovative. Because post COVID we have to, like the travel won't be the same as it was before.
Awesome. I love it. The chat is going crazy. I think they're trying to get a group together in the chat right now. They like, hey, I got 5. I
Yo,
got 20.
if anybody can you
You better tell them. Let them know.
come
Hold on.
on now, $1
Let them
million?
know.
How many 6 figures? How many 7 figures people? Come on now. Come on, TSP. Y'all giving other folks, money for a hotel. Y'all can buy your own hotel and have a conference there. Come on now.
Listen. I love Mark said, I'm a real estate investor, never even thought to add a hotel to the portfolio. Somebody said real life monopoly. Somebody said, Lordy, she is telling the
That's what I do.
Truth. Somebody said if I could own Circus in Vegas, I would. Look, it stays full. Just not with me and my friends, right? Again, right? You ain't gotta stay there. You just gotta own it. I love it.
Just gotta own it.
I love it. Let me see. It's a lot. It's so much. All right, somebody said already answered that one. Let me see if I can get one more good one that we've not already answered. Here's a good one. Somebody said, do you have concerns about the future impact of COVID on the hospitality industry?
No. It's not necessarily a concern. It's just that we just have to change on how we travel. And not how we travel. We have to change on how we can accommodate this new wave of travel. Because things are going to be, changing as far as the cleanliness and just making sure that people feel comfortable and people feel safe. But think about it. Y'all on social media. How many times have y'all planned y'all trips on where y'all want to go when y'all get, post-COVID? How many people are already traveling now? I've seen so many of my friends in Cabo, in Colombia, in Miami. So people tell me, oh, Davonne, I'm not going to invest in hotels right now because of COVID. Okay, think about it. When COVID dies down, everybody gonna be traveling. They may have a mask on, and then especially with the vaccine and people feel more comfortable, but people are gonna be traveling. And I want my hotel to be open to welcome you all when you do travel.
All right, there we go, y'all. Hey, I got one last question. I thought this was a good one. Because again, we talking about you talked about the course and being available, stuff like that. Somebody said, who is this for? Like, what qualifications does a person need to have for this to be useful? Do they need like a certain credit score? They need certain assets available, et cetera, like that. Like, what is somebody, if they want to get going in this hotel space, what do they actually need? Like what's the qualifications, I guess?
So that's a great question. I'm gonna break that down. So you have what you call an active investor, which is me. So that's someone who's taking on the risk. You have to get financing. You essentially putting a deal together. So that question applies to an active investor, right? So you have, the credit, assets, you have to guarantee the loan, all that fun stuff. Then you have a passive investor. A passive investor wouldn't have to worry about it. They just have to invest passively, right? So you can invest in a real estate investment trust. You can invest in stocks. You can invest privately. And so therefore you wouldn't have to worry about your credit or anything like that. You just have to have the capital and be able to invest long-term. I do want to mention that hotels is a 3 to 5 year investment. So it's not like, I don't want people to think, okay, if I invest tomorrow, I'm gonna be a millionaire. That's not how it works. It's definitely a long-term investment, more of a higher risk, a higher reward kind of scenario. But I just want to mention it's the passive and active. So for the people who are tuning in, you have to think about which type of investor do you want to be? Do you want to be more of a passive and say, hey, I just want my money to grow, like I have some money in my retirement, instead I wanted to get a little bit more return in the stocks, so I invested in hotel or real estate. So that's more of the passive. You want somebody else to manage it for you. An active person, that's when you need to focus on getting your credit together, assets. You're the one that's trying to raise capital to get the deal done.
All right, I love it. So y'all, real quick, right before we wrap this thing up, did you enjoy hearing from this sister today? If you enjoy hearing from her, do me a favor, drop a comment down below. I'm curious, would y'all like to hear more from her? If you'd like to hear more from her, drop a comment down below. I heard it might be a possibility that you are. Let me see some comments down below in the chat. Make sure you let me know. I'm just curious. Maybe y'all do. Maybe y'all said this is enough information, Lamar. Maybe y'all said I'm overloaded. Just a couple minutes. We asked her to stay a couple minutes over. Y'all might say a couple minutes. Gave me massive value. I don't need nothing else, right? I got everything I need to know. I'm ready to just go out here and I'm buying a hotel off these few nuggets that she dropped in the comments. Let me tell y'all something. I heard that Ms. Davonne might be joining us at TSP Live in June in the building. So maybe we can get her to do more nuggets. Maybe we can get her to share more. I know the mastermind already got their seats. Propel members, we already told you, as long as you're in good standing, you'll have a virtual ticket to join it. Early birds going on sale in just a minute. But I don't know, maybe we can get her to go even deeper and share more from that TSP live stage here in Atlanta.
They ain't ready, Lamar.
They ain't ready, y'all. She said y'all ain't ready.
I just gave them a little tea. They ain't ready for the whole cup. They ain't ready for the whole cup.
Y'all got to realize this is just like a casual conversation. This wasn't a presentation. It wasn't. We didn't even game plan like, hey, this we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about A, B, C, and D. Y'all like, do y'all realize how much she shared with y'all just off the top of her head in this little bit of time that we've had together? So we're gonna have more information about her and TSP Live coming up. Again, we'll tell you one more time, right? This is the last time I'm gonna drop it down in the chat one more time. She's giving a special 20% off promo code for TSP Family, right? When you go to www.hotelownership.roadmap.com, it's a special 4-week hotel ownership cohort that she is teaching live, right? It'll be her on live. You'll be able to speak directly to her, ask questions to her. If you're interested in it, I want you guys to be able to take advantage of it. And more importantly, I want you to get the 20% discount. Don't pay more or full price for it later on when you can jump on it now. I saw somebody already said, hey, you know what? She's doing it. I'm in the class. I saw some of y'all already signed up. And I see somebody dropping in the chat that you got a book dropping tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Epic Conversations. I got so much. Actually, Epic Conversations, it comes out tomorrow. And this is it's a conversations with different commercial real estate experts. So it's a conversation with a multifamily expert. It's a conversation with a hotel expert. It's a conversation with public-private partnerships. So for those who don't know anything about that, I'll leave that for the book. But just to give you a little taste of what public-private partnerships, let's see, who's in Atlanta? You in Atlanta, Lamar?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
You know. So Ponce City Market, right?
Yep.
That's a perfect example of a public-private partnership. A private developer came in, saw an opportunity. It's like, hey, City of Atlanta, so we need to do something with this. Work with the city, share different incentives. They came together. You have the public, which is the city. And you have the private, which is the developer. They put together a partnership together. And there you go, Ponce City Market. So basically to translate that, the developer said, hey, I want to do something with this land. But in order for me to do it, I need some help. Mm-hmm. So, hey, City of Atlanta, can you help me? And they did. And then now you have Ponce City Market. So, and a lot of people within our community, they don't know anything about it. They think they have to do everything themselves. Right. They don't realize that they can go to the municipalities, they can go to the economic development, and they literally have so many incentives to help small businesses and help real estate folks. And so we talk a little bit about that in the book as well.
I love it, y'all. Hey, so my takeaway from today's conversation, y'all, was stop thinking small, think bigger, right? We talked about that January game plan. I love Davonne said, look, nobody out here is using all their money to do everything. So a lot of times you think you can't do these things because you don't have the money to do it. But we talk about the fact you need the education, the resources, and the connections, and that'll overcome you not directly having the money because you can still make it happen. Davonne, how can they contact you, or if they want to get a hold of you or follow you online, where should they go? What should they do?
I'm on LinkedIn, so Davonne Reaves. I'm also on Instagram at Davonne Reaves. Facebook group. Not Facebook group, just Facebook page, Davonne Group. So those are the best ways to contact me.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again for joining. Thank you, everybody, for catching up with us. I'll drop the link one more time. If you want more information on the course, I'll drop the link. It's hotelownershiproadmap.com. And make sure if you get a hold of the course, you use the promo code TSP. That's going to give you 20% off. And it's a deadline for that, right? I forgot to mention the deadline before.
Yes, tomorrow. I know how we do. 11:59 EST. Tomorrow.
There we go. So y'all 11:59 Eastern time to get a hold of that promo. 20% off, right? Make a move, make it do the do. All right, y'all. If you got any questions, anything, drop in the comment. If you're watching this on replay later, you didn't catch it live, drop replay down in the comments. We appreciate you so much.
Thank
y'all,
you.
I'm so excited. Hey, Davonne, I appreciate you for coming on. And I know you got a few other moves and things in the works, so make sure every time, something happens, you let us know so we can share it with the TSP community.
But you know that. I'm going to let you know. we here. We family.
There we go, right? All right, y'all. So we'll see you in June, TSP Live. Thank you. Have a great day. And thank you, everybody, for catching us here at Traffic Sales and Profit. We back with our Lunch and Learns. We're going to be coming to you every Tuesday, bringing some of the foremost thought leaders in the Black community to help you build your businesses, build wealth, and build a new way of living. All right, peace, y'all. Have a great day. Thank you, Davonne. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, y'all. Bye.